Hello guys, hope all is well. What I've got for us today is a little workshop, just looking at some observational drawing. And I've got 5 little experiments for us to try. For this you can use a pencil, but preferred would be a fine liner pen. Or if you don't have one of these, a nice inky pen will do just fine. I want us to approach it by doing 5 different experiments, but how you lay this out and how you format it is completely up to yourself. I have completed these 5 different tests all in one image. You could do something different. You could have 5 different drawings. You could put down different materials, and on each material, each piece of paper, you could use a different technique. Or there's really a wide variety of ways. There is no strict way to present this. So long as you have the 5 experiments done, I will be more than happy. You're going to see me complete these as well, and I'm going to talk through how I find each one, any tips, any tricks, and everything like that. So let's get started. Our first experiment is a continuous line drawing. This is a drawing that is continuous. The line does not end. Now, when drawing mine, my wrist started aching, so I did lift my pen, but when I put it back down, I made sure it was on the exact spot that I left off. This means my line is continuous and flowing. You can look at your object, you can look at your paper, but you cannot lift or move your pen from that same continuous line. I really enjoy this as it has me thinking about where my pencil or pen is going to go next. I like to start with a focal point. So whenever I looked at my object, my beautiful Winnie the Pooh bear, the first thing that drew my eye was the center of his face, his nose. So I thought if I start at the nose and grow the head out, that could be a really good way to go about it. You may approach it a bit differently. Maybe you could start with a corner of the object, like the ear, and morph it all around there. Where you start is up to you. But what you must make sure is that your line does not end. It is a continuous line. So that is your first challenge. So for my first one, I used my fine liner pen and I did a continuous line. I did take some breaks because my wrist was cramping up. However, I made sure that I continued on that same line I was on. And I have also layered up my lines in darker areas of tone and spaced them out in lighter areas of tone in order to get that idea of form across. And I'm actually quite happy with this one. And there's my inspiration, my model. Isn't he gorgeous? Challenge number 2 is a blind continuous line. So the same rules as last time. Your pencil or pen cannot leave that same line. But this time you are not allowed to look at your drawing, so your eyes have to be fixed to your object at the whole time. How I like to approach this is almost drawing the line with my eyes as my hand moves. So with the jumper, I started with the corner of his shirt and I drew my eyes all the way along the neck, and I followed my pen along this and into the little details. I made sure wherever my eye movement went, the pen then followed. So, second experiment, blind continuous line. One continuous line, you cannot look at the paper. Now, my next one is the one I find the trickiest and I personally don't enjoy that much at all, but it's a learning experience, it's a challenge. So, I'm typically right-handed. What I'm going to do, use my left hand. If you're left-handed, that means you're going to draw on your right hand. If you're right-handed, you're going to draw with your left hand. And that's it. You can look up, you can look down, you can hit it, you can not. You just have to make sure you're drawing with your unnatural hand. If you're ambidextrous, this isn't really going to be a challenge for you, but go ahead and give it a go. Third, a continuous left hand line drawing. So using your forward hand, the hand you do not usually draw with that one, but make sure that you're doing a continuous line. So that means your pen does not lift that paper. This one I found really challenging, but I also quite enjoyed it as well because it led to some kind of crazy squiggles that really fit in with the texture of my bear's fur. Oh, okay, so for this last one, 2 pens, 2 hands, same time. Let's do it. You will need 2 pens or 2 pencils for this one. You need 1 pen in one hand and 1 pen in the other hand, and you're going to draw with both hands at the exact same time. This one was really challenging. I suddenly found one hand had stopped and the other one was still going, and at times I didn't know what one hand was doing, but it was also very exciting because it made my eyes jump about my object and take in all the details as quickly as possible. I was really quickly processing what I was seeing in order to channel it to my left or my right hand. Really is a challenge, but give it a go. So what I have ended up with is one complete drawing made up of 5 different techniques. For the head, I've got the continuous line. For his little t-shirt, I did blind continuous line. For his left arm, we have left hand continuous line. For his right arm, we have left hand, just left hand drawing. And then for his little bottom and feet, we've got 2 simultaneous hands, and overall, I think he's quite sweet. You can see how I've experimented with tone by layering up. I've also got the different types of marks. So what I actually really enjoyed with these 2 simultaneous hands is these very erratic, random squiggles, which I think describes his fur quite well. Although looking at it now, maybe get some more circle shapes in there. So, 5 different challenges, 5 different techniques. You can use pen, you can use fine liner, or you can use pencil. Let's go.